Today is not a very good day. Again, I had a shoot scheduled for today, and then I woke up a little early for it. I've been looking forward to it for weeks actually, and I was kind of excited for it. But then it got called off because one of my friends bailed out. And the weird thing about like how my mind works is, okay, so in my line of work, I don't have a permanent job. No one is contractually obliged to pay me or give me work. I had to look for work, talk with people, negotiate, meetings, pitches, all that stuff, and then I might get work. It's always an if or a might. So there are a lot of things that are pending that I've been discussing for weeks now, working on for a long time. But then all of that is out of my control until I get the project, until I start working on it. Everything else is out of my control. Like I've done everything I can do right now, so I just have to wait for the work to come through. And in my experience, sometimes it doesn't come through. So when this shoot got cancelled and the friend bailing out, I got really upset about that, and that kind of spiraled out. And me being the person who has very little self-confidence in myself, I just spiraled out and I started doubting every little thing. It's like if the plans and the things that I'm working on right now come through, if I do get those work, if I do get to work on those shoots, this year will be the best year ever in my life. I'd be the happiest I've ever been. Like that's how much is at stake. That's how much all of this means to me. So the stakes are really high, and the fact that I have no control over whether I'll get it or not, and the waiting period is just killing me. Like I have to wait to hear from these people, and they could decide either way because they don't really give a shit about me or my passions or whatever. Because for them it's just another gig that they outsource to someone. But the wait is just tough. And then today I was just doubting myself, and I was in a really bad place. And what I do is, this is how I used to cope with it back then. I just sleep for like 1 or 2 hours, but then today I slept for like 3-4 hours and I couldn't get much work done. But then I think now I found like a little healthier outlets to get back on track. So I went and I worked out. I went to that Bellanville running track. I think I ran up to like 5 to 6 kilometers and I worked out. I properly tortured myself. I can't feel my legs and my hands, and it feels kind of good. Like the pain kind of, I don't know, it kind of balances the scale kind of thing. So I think it's called endorphins. So like when you work out, you get endorphins that you feel like you're capable, and that makes you feel kind of good. So yeah, I feel my body. I'm feeling all numb, but I feel much better. So I just want to talk about how it's important to just keep your head up and hang on to hope, because hope is the only thing that I have right now. But yeah, like I said, if all this comes through, I'm going to be the happiest. So I just keep thinking about that. Like, what if it works out? But still, if it doesn't work out, I'm kind of fucked. In sense, financially, because there's a lot that I put into these projects to come through. So yeah, it's a lot at stake. It's tough for a person like me who's pretty sensitive and lacks a lot of confidence. It's tough for a person like me to like cling on to this hope and keep my mind straight. But that's what I gotta do. That's what I chose. It's the line of work that I chose. So yeah, it would have been easier to just take a job and just do 9 to 5 and get the salary at the end of the week. Sorry, the end of the month. But I made a decision and I have to stick with it. And no matter how hard it gets, we'll see. We'll see if I reach the tipping point.